Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. Today in Transformers Eternal Wars, I want to talk about this little tab down here. This one here on the bottom right, this World tab, a new game mode that popped up last week. I wanted to get a few days into it so I had some experience with it so I can talk to it a little bit better than just what I knew on day one. But I've got some concern because it reminds me of some similar game modes that I didn't really enjoy too much. I know I'm being a little bit harsh on this, but I want to give you some insight into what this game mode is, especially if you haven't played the game yet, and before going into global launch, so you can see ahead of time if this is something you're going to be interested in or not. So let's get into it. All right, and welcome back. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So my concern with the previous game, those of you who've been watching the channel for a while, DC Dark Legion, very much a hero collector in the beginning, but then you start switching gears into more of a 4X game mode. And what I mean by 4X, if you're not too familiar with it, is your strategy games, your city builders that you send rallies out to acquire areas of a map or strongholds or enemy bases, things like that, other player bases. It's just not something that I've been overly excited about. I was pretty vocal when I was making DC Dark Legion content. I am a little cautious on this one. However, there are some things that are a little bit different here. If it stays in the form that it is now, I don't think I'm going to be overly concerned. However, the building blocks are there that are enough to drive concern for me. So we'll see kind of how it goes, but let me walk you through what this looks like. I think one of my other issues or concerns about game modes like that, it's a game mode, it's a type of game for a lot of different people. Unfortunately, it's just not my cup of tea. But you are required to be online at a specific time. Your entire alliance, everybody who's going to contribute to that specific game mode needs to be online during a short period of time, typically. So here we go. This is the world map. You've got areas, you've got resource areas here. Now, a couple things that I think is cool here. So these resource nodes here, these ones for energy, and then you've got these ones here for alloy. The cool thing is these are instanced. So all four of these are mine. Nobody else can come in here and grab these from me. Your bases cannot be attacked. However, again, the bones are in here, so they can do whatever they want. They can eventually make it to where bases are attackable. I hope it never goes there. But yeah, these are instanced. So these are yours to grab. Now, when you grab other strongholds like this smelter right here, same thing. These nodes here are instanced. So they are yours to take. Nobody else can take them. I like that. I also like the fact that they do gate how much you can control here. So on day one, you can control one stronghold. So let me go in here and just kind of show you this here really quick. In this seasons here, you've got all these different types of modes. This mode lasts for a couple weeks, and as time goes by, like this one here unlocks after a day and 3 hours, this one 3 days and 3 hours, so on and so forth. You've got both server goals as well as personal goals and rewards that you can get. So as time goes on, you've got one stronghold that you can go ahead and hold on to. If you want to go attack somebody else, you can. You just have to then, or attack another stronghold. Another village. Like if one alliance has a village and you want to boot them out of that village, you can attack it. If you have a village already, you've got to abandon that, and then you go on to the next village. I think if you attack a village, it'll auto abandon the last village you have. But anyway, so you can go ahead and do that. One thing I caution though is that don't be a bully, because you can go around the map and you can go ahead and boot alliances out of their villages and make them go to other villages and things like that. But remember, other alliances can form alliances with more alliances that can attack you. So only one stronghold can be attacked per day, but you could have multiple alliances attack the same stronghold on that day. So if there's a bully and you 2 or 3 alliances go ahead and band together, they can go ahead and knock you out. Now, granted, when you take a look at like whale alliances and things like that, I think the strategy is going to be a little bit different. But you can go ahead and through this time, you can go ahead and get different strongholds, get first time clear rewards and things like that. Then eventually you're going to get to this point where your stronghold limit goes up to 2. So now you could hold 2. Maybe it's a village and a smelter. Maybe it's 2 smelters like we have. And then once you get to, let's see, in a few days here, we're going to get to right here. So next week, so in a week, we're going to be able to get a 3rd stronghold to capture. So if you just take a look at these unlocks as you scroll this to the left, you'll see requirements and you'll see the benefits and things that you get. So with that, if I just pull and zoom out right here, here is our alliance. You can see all of the alliances. Nobody can hold more than 2, so you can see that. We've got the 2 smelters. Eventually, we're going to go into the chem plant. This chem plant here, these unlock in 27 hours. So tomorrow, we're going to start venturing into the chem plant area. So you've got 16 villages all the way around. Then you've got 12 smelters. It gets smaller and smaller. We've got a few chem plants here. We've got, what, 4 chem plants? You've got 3 towns and then 1 city. So strategy-wise, your smaller leagues, smaller alliances are going to probably hover around the village and smelter area. And then your next tier of alliances there are going to hover around the smelter and your chem plant area. Your whales are going to be here because at this point, once you get to the center, you're going to be able to hold 3 strongholds, which ultimately for the ultimate alliance is going to be a city and 2 towns so that you can get the max number of resources per hour. So that's where most of the battle is going to be in the center when we start taking a look at those stronger leagues. Now, the cool thing is, let me back out of here. You've got this building here. I'm going to go to my convoy. You can see I can hold 3 squads. I don't know if squads improve if you can have more than 3 squads. Right now it's 3. But you can go ahead and click auto join. So when your alliance goes and attacks, then you're just going to auto join it. A lot of game modes, you have to actually be live and you have to contribute in order to get the rewards. And to get your attacks in, to complete missions and things like that. Here you don't. So I think there's a little bit of quality of life there. You're going to have people who are going to be on there all the time, every single day. And you're going to have people who just aren't going to be able to make it all the time, but they can still contribute. You can still build your roster up. You can still build your best teams, and then you can put in your auto join so that you can help with the attacks while you're offline. I think that's a huge plus. I think that's a big plus. And if it stays like that, I think it's something that I can live with. So we'll see once we get through the rest of it. But this is the map. And like I said, you've got a limited number of buildings that you can hold. And then you've got different requirements. You've got a radar here. Those of you from DC Dark Legion, you know this. This world map is very similar to DC Dark Legion's world map. I can go ahead and I can send out my teams. Only 3 teams at a time. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Deploy, boom, I'll do that. You can search for Chaos Ravages, Laser Beaks, and Rat Bats. As you can see down here at the bottom, what you get is a little bit different. So Ravages, if you want alloy, Laser Beak if you want energy or power, and then Rat Bats if you want both. And then as you work your way through the timeline, as time goes by, you'll get access to like level 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, all of those. You'll get access to higher level hunts so that you can get more rewards. Gather's the same way with alloys and EM towers. There's a lot of potential here for additional resources to gather. We'll see what that looks like a little bit later on down the road. Looks like we have an attack going here in about 46 minutes. We're going to go after smelter number 6 here. All right, so there is that. Here's your exchange. Right now you can see my currency up here. And then we got the store. I will say I'm a little bummed about the store. I'm not overly excited. However, a few things in here that I would prioritize. I like the general mythic shards so that it'll help me to rank up and star up my mythics. But then also the spherical energy core, which is what's needed for talent. So you can continue to build up different stats for your heroes. That's this out here. I'll show you really quick. This building right here. This unlocks once you complete Expedition 1840. And then you'll be able to build this building and start crafting. And then you can see kind of what this looks like. Let me go into, this is Optimus. He's the only one that I have. You've got to get 2 gold stars before you can start using this. I'll go into that in another video. But it's definitely helpful to help push the harder content in the game. Another thing on this building, you have tech. So a lot of your resources here, like your power here, you're going to use power in your development area here, as well as your stat area here for your different traits. Now, development, I went hardcore development because this increases my power gain as well as my alloy gain. You've got this here, which reduces stamina recovery. There's stamina that's used whenever you attack. So this reduces the cost. You've got team movement speed, so how quick you move across the world map, things like that. I maxed everything out here that I could because I just felt that that was going to be the best use of that. And then in battle for my different traits, I'll go in. This is for my HP boost, my defense boost, attack boost, and then you've got your damage reduction boost there as well. Fame, we don't have that yet, but then we have a list here that just shows you what's occupied, and then you can go in and take a look at what's capturable. So I think it's an interesting game mode as long as they don't get overly complicated and reduce time frames and make it critical that you have to be online at certain times. Right now, at least where they have it, I think it's doable, and I think I can live with it. But very curious on your thoughts. I can see my teams here. Also, my 3 teams are idle. Very interesting game mode to play around with. I'm very interested in your thoughts, especially those of you who have played DC Dark Legion and have heard me be very, very critical of the 4X game modes. Not a huge fan of them. I think this might be an acceptable compromise. So anyway, those are my thoughts. That's the world. Something just to look forward to as well. I think it's going to be cool just to give you a sneak peek into what the next video is going to be about. We have a new game mode coming. Let me see. It's in here. It's this global defense trial. Now, the way that what they call this, let me go into the notice here. They call it a, let's see, global defense trial. They called it a, what is it? A fair play mode, I think is what they called it. Also, the world update too. They just enacted a 1-hour protection period is added after successfully capturing a stronghold so that alliances that just captured something can't immediately get booted from it. But yeah, so I'm interested to see what this defense trial looks like. This is going to go live on the 30th, which is the 29th for me. So tomorrow at reset, this game mode is going to go live. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. I'm excited to try it out. Looks like another PvP mode. All right, so that's what I had for you. Hopefully that all made sense, my ramblings and stuff and the experience that I had before. But very excited to hear again from you. What do you all think about the game so far? We do have pre-registration that is going now. We know that launch is, at least in the game store, it says September 15th, which aligns right with what I was thinking. I was thinking that they were going to launch the game during the 40th anniversary of the Transformers movie, and it looks like they're doing exactly that. All right, everybody, that's what I had for you. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.